But get back to that same game last week, and then you have BYU, who, they came up a yard short. They go for we'll play anyone, anywhere, anytime, which they did, in fairness, to then, all right, now we have a loss. Our outside shot at the college football playoff is no longer even a dream. And now they come home and play San Diego State at BetMGM. BYU is a 17. Let me pull it up. BYU is a 17.5 point favorite, over under 48.5 against San Diego State. And the question here is, does BYU just come out flat? Now, the one thing I have to mention about San Diego State, my worst take of the college football season, of course I've had many, but was Tennessee having a great offensive line that's going to make them competitive. I think your worst take has been about the San Diego State offense. This San Diego State offense, I don't know why they keep naming the wrong quarterback. They said again Brookshire is going to start at quarterback this weekend. He is so bad, so bad. Last week San Diego State won, but he went 14 of 24 for 130 yards. He's worse than Baker, and Baker was playing poorly. Against Colorado the week before, Brookshire went 7 of 19 for 50 yards and a pick, averaged 2.6 yards per attack. I mean, these offensive numbers are pathetic. And they have that kid Johnson. I don't know why they don't put him in. He can at least run towards a tech transfer. They said that he might have a short leash this week, so maybe they put him in. The week before against Hawaii, Baker went 4 of 13 for 30 yards. San Diego State's passing numbers are so bad. So if BYU shows up here, an under might be a good look if you think BYU is going to come out flat too and you don't trust the San Diego State offense. But if BYU cares at all, I don't think San Diego State can keep up with them. Thoughts here?
Yeah, well, I just – it's not really that I like betting on San Diego State, which I have a couple times this season. I like betting their overs. They're, 3 overs this year, 4 unders, so it's paid off some, and sometimes it hasn't. It did last week against Colorado State. But the thing is
it's paid off none.
Their totals move so much. I think it depends on what you're grading against, because these totals move 8 points on San Diego State to the point where it gets down to 40. And then you're like, well, I mean, it's so easy to go over.
Just admit this San Diego State offense sucks.
I can't admit. I love Heckler.
Oh, my God. You still can't.
These guys are – they are 12th in the nation in rush explosiveness. It's just electric when you see him take off. I love it.
Man.
Now, let me tell a little story. I'm going to go deep into my past, show some of the podcast listeners how old I am. In 1998, Arkansas was undefeated 8-0 and went to play Tennessee 8-0. And what I'm going to get to here is I believe a team reflects their coach. If a coach is high-strung and emotional, that feeds off onto the players, that feeds off onto the team, that feeds off onto the field. And 8-0 Arkansas went to play at Tennessee against 8-0 Tennessee, who eventually went on to play and win the national championship the year after Peyton Manning left. But Arkansas had probably the biggest soul-crushing loss in football that we've had in decades. And everybody remembers that game. I mean, it's in our intro of our podcast that Sterner stumbled and fumbled. And Houston Nutt is a highly erratic, emotional coach. And he was never able in his coaching tenure ever to recover from losses. When he took an emotional loss, he lost the next game. And so the next week after we lost to 8-0, and we lost Tennessee, we lost to Mississippi State, a team that had no business being on the same field as us. And that is a reflection of poor coaching. Coaches that don't have enough character to get their kids back up off the mat. How it relates to this game, I think it's a direct opposite with BYU. I think Kalani Sitake is the exact opposite of Houston Nutt. And I believe BYU is going to come out here and want to dust themselves off, get up off the mat, and, make a statement. Can't make a New Year's 6 here. That looks like it's been shot, but we can still make ourselves a great bowl game, and BYU could still have a fantastic season. And Zach Wilson came out this week and said, there's no way I'm opting out of whatever bowl we fall into. So that's the only indicator. Like I went and read, some of the pressers and some of the stuff, but Zach Wilson coming out this week and saying, I'm not opting out for whatever bowl we land in. This team, I think, is tuned in, and I believe in Kalani Sitake and being able to get up off the mat, brush themselves off, and put a thumping down on San Diego State. So I like the over here. I don't know about covering. I make it a little bit less. I think it's a bit inflated, but I think the over is the play here all the way. Not to mention San Diego State.
San Diego State overs, man.
Well, not to mention that San Diego State's defense is 123rd against rush explosiveness. That's almost dead last. So Tyler Algier is just going to run wild. BYU should be able to break a 60-yard run. They're going to give him the Navy treatment, just be able to break runs from any point on the field.